Hey there, Sims fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a speed build, and I decided to do a modern style build. I have had a fair amount of builder's block recently. The amount of builds that I actually have started and then demolished, I reckon quite easily in 3 days, at least 10 builds. I started and went, nah, that's garbage, and deleted it. So I think this one turned out okay, considering I've got builder's block. But I wanted to do a modern build for a while, and I was trying to do like another big one, and it just wasn't working. Everything I came up with I hated, so I decided to go for a smaller lot and a smaller build. And I also decided to only do this one as a shell. So when I put it up in the gallery, you guys will be able to download it and do whatever you like with it. Um, I don't know what it is lately. I just have not had any inspiration. I've been doing all the usual things, looking on Pinterest, YouTube, Google, anywhere really, to look for ideas, but I just haven't done anything that I thought was, excellent. So I will try my best to get my builder's block unblocked. I may take a break for a little while if it doesn't clear up soon. Sometimes that helps. But yeah, I also wondered if a part of the reason I was having builder's block was because I'm a little bit dirty about this werewolf pack. Now, I know a lot of people out there love the idea and the concept, but I'm not really a game player. So for me, whenever there's a new pack, I simply look at the build items. And I've got to say, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, you guys feel free to disagree. Leave your comments below if you have an opinion on this. I'd love to hear it. But for me, when I looked at the build items, it just looked like a lot of recycled items, things that we've already got, just in a slightly different variant. And I kind of wish they'd do a bit more than that. There's only so many bars that look the same. Like the bar to me looks exactly like the one that came with Island Living, like the tiki looking one, and also very similar to the one that was in Strangerville. So I just wish that when they bought out these packs, that they would put a few different items in for builders. I mean, the gameplay option might be really good, but as I said, I'm not a game player. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they've kind of missed the mark with the building aspect, or do you think that the items that we got are actually okay? Um, Drop your comments below. Speaking of the Werewolves pack, I have not purchased it yet, purely because, as I said, I'm a little filthy with it at the minute. I will probably end up getting it though, because I am a sucker for collections, and I got to a point not long ago where I had all of them, and then they brought out a few kits, and I was like, not really my thing. And then werewolves have come out, and still not really my thing. So, but inside me, deep inside, I'm like, come on, you need the collection. You have to complete the collection. You need all of them. So we'll see what happens there. Stand by on that front. But for those of you who have got it and you have done the gameplay, what do you think of it? Is it good, or were The Sims 2 and 3 better with the occult stuff? What do you reckon? I mean, I kind of wish that they would, in one of their updates, go and, fix up those hidden worlds that we have. And, oh, it escapes me now. One of the worlds has, um, like the entry. it looks like it's supposed to go to one of those hidden worlds, but it doesn't actually do anything. Um, and I can't remember which pack it is off the top of my head, but I do wish they would do something about that. Like, that would be good if we could, have a bit more in those secret worlds. Like the ability to build in them, maybe. You know, I mean, I know you can in this world that I'm in currently, the Snowy Escape one. I know if you make it to the top of the mountain, you can build there. But what about like 6M and the one in the Forgotten Grotto? Is that it? The Forgotten Grotto? I don't know. I get those two mixed up all the time. But still, the point is, why can't we have more of that sort of stuff instead of packs that just bring the same stuff that we already have, just different colors? Anyway, that's my rant for today. Let's have a look at this build. As you can see, I've kind of gone with the darker colors, and I went for a basic look, a basic design. I don't know, I feel like most modern houses are pretty square, so that's what I've done. I put in some skylights. You can see one on the left there that I've just done, and I believe I put some in up the top in a little while. Maybe now. Yes, now. So I like putting skylights in, but I often forget to do it. I don't know why. My brain just forgets. And then by the time I think to put them in, it's too late because I've already done, roofing, or I've done other stuff, and it just becomes too hard. But I think it's turning out okay. The color scheme is all right, but it's always so hard to tell until you've got landscaping. So you reach a point where it's kind of like, do I like this build? Don't I? I really don't know. Let's put some landscaping in. That might help me decide. Oh, this bit here. Oh, it annoys me so much when this happens. I wish it would just flatten the way I want it to, but no. It worked out in the end. I just covered it with lots of plants. That's my motto. If all else fails, hide it with plants and debug objects. Speaking of debug objects, for those of you who follow me on my socials, you would know that I recently downloaded the tool mod and the better build by mod. And oh my goodness, I must say, I am so glad that I did it, because it has made searching the debug menu so much easier. Like, I would spend forever trying to find objects, and like especially that vent and the posts that you can never find them ever. And it's just made life so much easier. So, oh my goodness, thank you for that, and I'm so glad that I decided to go ahead with it. The other thing that I have now realized since I downloaded that mod is that there are so many debug plants that I never saw before, because like it was just fishing through a sea of things. But now that it's actually organized and I can see the catalog clearer, and I can always enlarge the catalog, there are plants there that I never used to use and I use all the time now. So yeah, I really, really do like it for that aspect. I'm still learning with the like the manipulation for raising and moving and shrinking and enlarging objects and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I didn't use the tool mod very much on this one, only a little bit toward the end. But like these plants here, all debug. And I'm like, woo, look at them. These ones are nice. I really like these. They're so cute, and I wish I had have known about them earlier and used them more often. So yeah, using a little bit of tool here just to get them to go where I wanted, because I had the foundation, they wouldn't snap to the ground. They snapped up a level, so I didn't really want my plants floating in mid-air. So yeah, it's definitely good for those little things, especially when you're like me and you like things to be perfect. If you can't hide it with move objects, then tool is a good way to do it. A very good way. I think it was about now when I was adding in the garden, I sort of came round to this build. I was like, yeah, this doesn't look too bad now. It's getting there. It's getting there. But I was still convinced it was going to be a shell. So this will be up in the gallery. You can download it and you can do whatever you like with it. I have been building lots of shells recently, probably because I'm lacking in a bit of inspiration, and I feel like shells offer a lot. Like, there are so many storytellers out there who require certain houses, but when we build with our own idea about what the house needs and should be and for whom it should be for. Whereas with a shell, you can add to it and you can make it whatever you need it to be to suit your specific sim or your specific storyline. So yeah, I do have a little bit of respect for shells. So I used a couple of debug objects here to create just this little fancy bit side rail. I don't know. I just felt like it needed a little bit more on the entry there, and I wanted to frame the garden bed a little bit more, and then just fill in the gaps. I mean, it's probably not a very modern garden, but you know, I'm a sucker for a garden too. Alright, I think that garden doesn't look too bad for this build. I was trying to work out what to do with the other side of the steps. So yes, letterbox, can't forget the letterbox. And I thought about doing the same sort of fencing on the other side, and then I was like, no, that's not going to work. So in the end, I decided to just continue that rock wall around, just to conceal the edges a bit more. I thought that if I had to put more garden there, it just would have been too busy. So yeah, rocks it was. I think I put a few plants there just to kind of, yeah, cover in the gaps a bit. But again, I was a little indecisive. Couldn't quite get it to work. But got there in the end. Very nice. Couple of plants to kind of finish off that garden. And then I wanted to add in a few little decor pieces just to kind of, you know, break it up a little bit. But again, you can see I'm very indecisive. Could not decide what I wanted. But sometimes that's the best way to do it. If you're not sure, just try a couple of things. That's probably something that when we speed build, we normally edit this sort of stuff out, all the toing and froing, but because this was a smaller build and because it was going to be a shell, I left all those little details in. So you can see that, you know, everybody does it. Everybody kind of needs to go to and fro, and sometimes things don't work. I do like this light, I must say, especially for modern builds. It is a nice little lamp, that freestanding one. I think it was Spa Day, if I remember correctly. Anyway, we are nearly at the end of this build. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe, and also click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on new content. You can also check me out on my socials.